There is a conversation that happens in gun stores across America every single week. A buyer walks in with a budget, maybe $400, maybe $5. The guy behind the counter steers them toward something more expensive, says you get what you pay for, says the cheap stuff will let you down when it counts. Sometimes that is true, but there are 5 rifles on this list where it is not, and the data that proves it comes from the same places that matter: independent ballistic testing labs, agency procurement records, and the secondary market, where experienced buyers vote with their wallets on what actually works. These are the 5 budget rifles under $500 that are outperforming guns costing 3 times as much in 2026. Not according to the manufacturers, not according to a sponsored review. According to measured group sizes, mechanical reliability records, and resale prices that tell you whether the market believes what the box says. If you want straight information about where your money actually goes in the firearms market, subscribe right now. No manufacturer relationships, no industry access that changes what gets said. One click, 5 to 1. Let's get into it. Stay until number 1, because it is the rifle the industry does not want you to know exists at this price. Number 5, Mossberg Patriot Standard, $300 to $350 retail. The Mossberg Patriot gets overlooked because Mossberg built its reputation on shotguns. The 500 and the 590 own that conversation, and the rifle side of their catalog lives in that shadow. That is the market's mistake, not the rifle's. The Patriot uses a fluted barrel as standard equipment, not as an upgrade, not as a premium configuration. Standard. Fluting reduces barrel weight and improves heat dissipation during sustained fire, and Mossberg includes it on a $300 rifle. At this price point, competitors are still deciding what grade of plastic to use on the stock. The lightning bolt action trigger, Mossberg's adjustable system, breaks between 2.5 and 3 pounds on production units, adjustable without gunsmith intervention. For reference, rifles costing $800 routinely ship with factory triggers breaking at 5 to 6 pounds and require a $200 aftermarket replacement to reach competitive pull weight. Documented groups from independent testing with factory ammunition, sub-MOA is achievable and repeatable in standard chamberings, including .308 Winchester and 6.5 Creedmoor. Not occasionally. Consistently, across multiple tested units, by reviewers with no Mossberg relationship. One documented weakness worth knowing: the base models use a plastic barrel-to-action mount where aluminum belongs. Under extended heat and humidity, conditions that matter during a full day of hunting, that material choice affects point-of-impact consistency. If you are in a hot climate state or run extended strings at the range, budget $100 for an aftermarket aluminum bedding solution. Even after that cost, you are at $450 for a rifle that competes mechanically with $1,000 platforms. Number 4, Savage Axis II, $280 to $320 retail. The Savage Axis II is the most underrated bolt-action rifle currently in American production. That sentence will make some people argue. The argument will not survive contact with the accuracy data. The AccuTrigger is the reason. Savage developed this adjustable trigger mechanism, and it has been the benchmark for factory trigger quality at budget price points for over a decade. The Axis II ships with it standard. Pull weight adjustable between 2 and 6 pounds without tools, with a positive trigger blade safety that prevents unintended discharge during adjustment. Independent accuracy testing across multiple production units in .308 Winchester places average groups at .75 MOA with match-grade ammunition and sub-1 MOA with standard hunting loads. For the non-technical viewer, 1 MOA at 100 yards is roughly 1 inch. .75 MOA means 3/4 inch groups with a $280 rifle. Guns marketed at $1,500 are tested against the same standard and frequently do not hit it. The Axis II does not have a premium pedigree. The stock is functional rather than beautiful. The finish is workmanlike. If you are buying a rifle to display, there are better options. If you are buying a rifle to shoot accurately, the Savage Axis II is the most honest value in its price category in 2026. Used Axis IIs hold 60 to 70% of retail value on the secondary market. The market does not pay that premium for underperforming equipment. Number 3. Ruger American Predator, $420 to $470 retail. Ruger built the American Predator for hunters who shoot at distances where wind, drift, and drop. Compensation matter, 500 yards and beyond. At under $500, it carries a feature set that manufacturers charge twice as much to replicate. The Marksman adjustable trigger is Ruger's equivalent to Savage's AccuTrigger. Factory break between 2.5 and 5 pounds, adjustable through a simple set screw. The spiral fluted bolt reduces weight and cycling friction simultaneously. The action is bedded into the stock using Ruger's power bedding system. 2 aluminum pillars that maintain consistent action-to-stock contact regardless of temperature or humidity. Precision rifle manufacturers charge $400 to rebed rifles that leave the factory without this feature. The Predator ships with it. The rail is integrated, not added. The M77 recoil lug is a single steel component machined into the receiver. A full-width lug, not a pin, not a stamped piece. Recoil management directly affects scope return to zero, which directly affects long-range reliability. Factory accuracy testing in 6.5 Creedmoor consistently produces half MOA groups in independent tests. Half minute of angle at 100 yards. That is the standard custom rifle builders charge $3,000 for. The Ruger American Predator does it at $450. Used Predators in excellent condition sell at 80% of retail. That retention rate is higher than most rifles costing twice as much. Number 2, Tikka T 3X Lite, $450 to $500 retail. Tikka is Finnish. The T3X Lite is the reason precision rifle buyers who actually shoot at distance know the brand, and the reason American buyers who only shop domestic catalogs have never heard of it, and are leaving accuracy on the table because of it. The barrel is hammer-forged cold. This manufacturing process compresses the steel, aligning the grain structure longitudinally and producing a bore surface that is harder and more consistent than cut-rifled barrels at the same price. The result? A factory barrel that does not need replacing to perform at competition accuracy standards. The action is the smoothest in this entire price tier, not competitive with rifles at this price. Smooth in an absolute sense. The bolt lift is short, and cycling is linear in a way that costs other manufacturers $300 of machining to achieve. Trigger breaks between 2 and 4 pounds factory set, adjustable without tools. The T3X Lite earns its name. The synthetic stock and aluminum components bring the weight to 4.5 pounds unscoped. That matters on a mountain elk hunt in September, where every ounce adds up across 8 miles of elevation gain. Documented accuracy, sub-half MOA with hand loads. Sub-MOA with factory ammunition across independently tested units in .308 Winchester and 6.5 Creedmoor. Competition shooters use T3X rifles on practical courses where gear is supposed to be the limiting factor. It is not. The shooter becomes the limiting factor, which is exactly what you want. Before we get to number 1, subscribe right now. Next video covers the rifles that professional hunters and competition buyers are walking away from in 2026. The ones where the price tag and the performance data do not tell the same story. You want that one. Hit subscribe. Number 1. CZ 527 American, $470 to $500 retail. The CZ 527 is the answer to a question the American rifle market does not ask often enough. What happens when a manufacturer machines an action from solid billet steel and refuses to cut corners at any point in production regardless of the price point? The 527 uses a controlled round feed system, the same design principle as the pre-64 Winchester Model 70. The configuration that professional hunters and military users have considered mechanically superior for over 70 years. The cartridge is positively controlled from magazine to chamber at every point in the cycle. No flip feed, no case rim jump. The trigger is double set. Pull it normally. Factory brake around 3 pounds, clean and consistent. Pull the front set trigger first. The mechanism resets to a glass rod brake under 1 pound. Sub-pound triggers are a custom shop feature. They are standard equipment on a $500 CZ. The receiver is machined to tolerances tighter than the majority of production rifles sold in America at any price. The bolt fit into the action has no perceptible play. When tolerances are tight and consistent, accuracy is repeatable. When accuracy is repeatable, the rifle performs the same way on the first shot of a hunt and the 100th round at the range. Documented factory accuracy in .223 Remington and .204 Ruger places groups below half MOA with quality ammunition across independent testing. Varmint shooters who require that standard at extended distances know this rifle. They have known it for years. The rest of the market is catching up slowly. The CZ 527 does not get the American market presence its performance earns because it is not made in America, it does not carry a country music sponsor, and it does not appear in prime-time hunting shows. It sits at $490 next to rifles costing $1,200 and outperforms most of them. Secondary market price, 85% of retail after years of ownership. A rifle that costs $500 shoots as well as rifles costing $1,500 and holds 85 cents of every dollar you put into it is not a budget option. That is a professional grade decision wearing a price tag the market has not fully figured out yet. That is number 1. 5 rifles under $500 that the performance data cannot separate from guns costing 3 times as much. If you know someone about to spend $1,200 because the guy behind the counter said you get what you pay for, share this with them before they find out the expensive way. No sponsorships, no manufacturer relationships. Subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.